Hey guys, HeelTayler here, and welcome to the new episode of NXT 2014. This is the second NXT we're doing, and we open it with William Regal coming out and saying in 2 weeks from Saturday we'll be seeing the first ever NXT TakeOver New York. I'm the kind of guy who really only does book TEW when there's monthly shows as pay-per-views. I know it's kind of annoying to some people, but for me it's just the easiest way to book. You do 4 weeks pay-per-view, 4 weeks pay-per-view on the way, and then you have different more important pay-per-views. NXT TakeOver for New York, it's not going to be like a super important pay-per-view yet, if you know what I mean, but like years down the line hopefully it'll build some prestige. But yeah, so we're starting with NXT TakeOver New York in 2 weeks time on Saturday, and that somehow gets an 80. I should do Regal just talking a bit more, shouldn't I? Then going to a 42, which is Bo Dallas coming out, and he's talking about how Sammy's kind of an NXT failure. Like, what has he actually done here? He's come in and lost it at the final hurdle every single time. And, you know, he's like, Sammy, why don't you just get out of here, man? Like, what are you doing here? You're just taking up space at the top of the card for someone who can never break the glass ceiling. And Sammy just doesn't come out. Like, we don't see him. Bo just kind of gets away with everything he's saying. It's a bit like a, kind of moment. But Sammy comes out later on the show, so it don't matter. Yeah, so then we get the Ascension getting a win over Sawyer Fulton and Willie Mack. They were just kind of on the roster, so I was like, sure, choose them as a job team. And they got bodied by the Ascension very quickly when Victor beat Fulton with a Canadian lifter. Fulton was shite, apparently, expected. Victor was off his game, which sucks. Fulton and Willie Mack just don't work well as a team, which is kind of annoying because they were just randomly thrown together. But Willie Mack got a 25, which is actually pretty good considering he had the ping. Sorry, Fulton sucked, but he could be a little bit better at least if they if they were at least neutral with each other. Orion with 35, Victor with 30. We need to build these guys up a bit more. They're a very, very, like, they're the earliest and best tag team I remember from NXT. To be honest, not like best of all time, obviously, but like if I'm thinking of like the really, really early days of NXT, these guys are the standout tag team. We then go into another 40-rate segment where it's Gabriel following up from last week, where he said, you know, he might want to get back in the tag division. He come down to the ring and he actually challenged Ascension for TakeOver. He said he doesn't have a partner yet, but if they're interested, Gabriel will take him on. And they kind of just laugh at him because, you know, he's on his own, he doesn't have a partner, and they take advantage of that and they jump him and beat him down in the middle of the ring and just walk off laughing. So, it's an interesting one. Then going to a 23 where Becky Lynch defeats Raquel Diaz in 6 minutes and 11 seconds. A lot better than Charlotte, but these two had great chemistry, which is nice to see. Raquel Diaz is just being used as a local job girl because I have no idea who she is, I can't lie. But Becky over 29 is good to see. 23 rated match, very good. Raquel Diaz is looking very stale. We then get a 24 where Sasha Banks comes out after the match and she just stands on the stage and gives Becky a clap and clappy. Becky, not clappy. Becky's just like, oh, what the hell? Cheers, man. Woman, sorry. And then Banks be like, it's alright. And she walks out. It's very, very subtle things at the moment. We then get a 35 rated segment, which is a vignette for Hideo Itami, and it just says the Warrior of the East coming soon to NXT. A few people have been called up to WWE, which I'll reveal closer to the time, which means I need to sort of shoehorn some bigger stars just into the thing a little bit. So I've done a bit of a signing spree. I've brought in a few people early. They won't jump straight to the top of the card. I'm not going to book it like that. They need to work their way in like they did in their own NXT careers, but people will be coming in slowly just to boost them up a bit earlier than they would have in real life, and one of them is Hideo Itami, even though I don't think it's overly far off. I think it was like August, September, something like that Itami came in, but he will be coming in now to fill the gaps that we're eventually going to have. And get a 35 promo, which is pretty good considering he only speaks passable English in the game. So yeah, I'll take it. And a 46 rated segment, Breeze comes out before Adrian Neville's match against Camacho next. And he basically comes in, he's like, Regal, get up, go write the contract for the world title match. I want to see it in writing, you know, I earned the match, go get it done. And Regal's a bit like, don't push me around. He's like, don't you worry about commentary. because I'll do commentary on this match. I'll sit here. You just get lost, essentially, and go make the contract. And next week, I want to see the contract, essentially. And Regal's going to be like, fine, and grumbles, but kind of walks off and lets Tyler Breeze take his place, get him a bit of mic work in on commentary. And commentary gave the match a boost for a start. But in a decent match, Adrian Neville defeated Camacho in 10 minutes and 11 seconds with a 450 splash. Obviously, the red arrow. But Neville got 52, Camacho only got 17. Jesus. The pretty dangerous title threat storyline lost a bit of heat because of the 33 rating, but do you know what? It's still not a bad place for the storyline to be, considering the segment average at this point. Into a 48, a freestyle segment called Sammy Didn't. So Sammy comes out and he's like, I didn't interrupt Bo Dallas because he could be right, you know, like, Sammy didn't really have a fair argument to his point, to be quite honest. And, yeah, he has lost a lot of his biggest chances, but he doesn't want to go. He just feels like he's lost touch slightly. And before he can even get more of an explanation out and explain more, Bo Dallas just comes out of nowhere, gets behind him and just beats him down from behind, leaves Sammy in the ring. A lot of unanswered questions, but Bo Dallas does leave with the one, you know, on his feet. So we'll have to hear more about that next week. And then into a 37 for the main event. It was better than the Neville Camacho match. I kind of felt like I'd need a stronger match, and I think this did good enough. Woods and Tatsu, the sort of duo we saw from last week, they actually pick up a win over Adam Rose and Corey Graves. Woods actually beat Corey Graves with a hammerlock DDT. 36 for Tatsu, because he's a king. Woods with a 30. Corey Graves got a very good 39, actually. I can't knock that rating. And Adam Rose got a 36. It's also actually quite good. So 37 overall. Nothing too much to really complain about there. And we get a 49 for the show, which I'm pretty sure is a lot better than our last show, so I can't really complain. Just the 4 matches, a few segments going through. And, yeah, I think that's it for this episode. I will see you all on episode 3. Because I'm doing it. I'm telling you I'm doing it. We're going to hit episode 3. And then I'm going to make an episode 4. And everyone's going to be surprised. Because I made it to episode 4. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Goodbye.